was the next day after my first video using this Jenkins mower. I'm down here on the other side of the creek where I was mowing yesterday. This particular small parcel has not been mowed in a couple of years, and it's at the back of a hayfield that I mow. This hasn't been mowed in a while, so I thought I'd clean it up a little bit, make it nice and pretty when people come by to pick up their hay. And so this mower does a pretty good job. The skid steer does a very good job, and it's just going along. One thing I noticed when I'm mowing grass in smooth places, I can run the front of the mower pretty much in float mode, let those straps out there hang loose, and it does a very fine job. Over here where the land is a little bit, the soil's a little loamy here, sandy, down at this bottom of this creek. This place floods very badly in a heavy rain, so there's a lot of sand and loamy soil down in here. So the front of this mower does dig in just a little bit more than I'd like it to, but that's what those straps are for. Just pick it up, let it do its thing, and it goes along just fine. I've never owned a tractor with a cab on it. My excavator has a cab with HVAC on it, and never had a tractor been able to bush hog in air-conditioned cab comfort. So this is really a treat for me. I could be out here, and it's been raining off and on all day long, kind of a wet, nasty day, and it's just kind of it would be a wasted day for me if I was trying to bush hog on a tractor. But well, I tell you, this cab stuff is all these guys with these cabs and things under tractors, I'm here to tell you, that might just catch on eventually. I think that might get to be a pretty popular option. The reason I don't have a cab tractor, other than cost, I have a Ford 4000 SU open station, 1974 model, and I've got a 1985 model Massey Ferguson 283, and that's an open station model. And then a couple of middly tractors. I've got an Alice B, about a mid-50s model Alice B with a Woods belly mower on it. I use it for mowing some a little bit of acreage that we try to keep cleaned up. And then I've got, in yesterday's video I mentioned, I have a 1953 John Deere Model 40 that was my dad's, and he sold it to me years ago before he died. He gave it to me originally, but then he sold it to me later to make it official, because he knew I had a couple greedy sisters and they would steal you blind and then try to make you think they were doing you a favor. So Dad knew that, and he wanted me to have the tractor. As back in the late 90s, I took it into the John Deere dealer and had it restored, because it was in pretty rough shape. So I had them rebuild it, restore it. I gave it back to my dad, and he wanted to see to it that I got it when he was done with it. So, but all that being said, all my tractors are open station, and so for that reason, I have not had a luxury of having a cab. Back in the day when I was an airline pilot, flying for a living, working for a living, I could have bought a cab tractor, probably, with the income I had back then. But to be honest with you, there's nothing new out there that catches my eye. Well, a lot of things catch my eye, but there's nothing new out there that will hold up like these old tractors will. You've got to put up with the, even on this one, this skid steer I'm in, you've got to put up with the regen, and I've been pretty particular about not buying anything that requires DEF, because I don't want to put up with that nonsense. But any new tractors out there, you've got to put up with regen and all that stuff. Now, you'll notice if I'm not careful, if I don't raise the front of the mower up here as I back up, those front skid shoes will dig in. So you have to be careful. As long as you're going forward, they do a pretty good job. But backing up, you need to raise the mower up slightly. Anyway, I don't like the DEF, and I don't like the regen functions that they have to go through these days. This particular John Deere skid steer I'm in with the 74 horse Yanmar, I've had it for about 200 hours now, as I bought it used, and it has not had to do a regen or anything else. In fact, it says the soot level in it is still low, so it's a ways off from having to do a regen, I hope. And that's not a big deal. Regen in itself is, it's a little bit of a pain, I guess, but my Sani excavator, it has a little 24 horse Yanmar in it, a little 3-cylinder, non-turbo, and I've got over 600 hours on it, and it has never done a regen yet. And so I had it in for service one time, and I asked my dealer about it. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't an issue with the machine, and I said, this thing has never done a regen. Is there something wrong with it? Am I missing something? Did it do it and I didn't notice it, or what? And the dealer said, no, these little Yanmar engines we use, he said you could probably put 1,000 hours on this thing and it'll never do a regen. They run clean, they run efficient, and he said the way we run them, they sit here and run at 75 to 100% throttle all day long, and they run very clean. So that made me feel good about that, and this Deere I think will be okay too. A good friend of mine has some late model John Deere tractors, and now he mows with his. He doesn't get out and plow and run them wide open and all that stuff, but he tells me they regen every few hours. So I don't know. I don't know what the deal is, what the difference is, or anything else. But and his have Yanmar engines in them too, being John Deere. So, but went off on another rabbit trail just to tell you this. To be honest with you, there's not a new tractor out there that catches my fancy. That's one reason I've not bought a cab tractor, because I just don't want to put up with all the emissions nonsense. Yeah, the air-conditioned cab would be nice. It sure is in this thing. And all the creature comforts. But I'm going to be honest with you, my old 74 Ford 4000, it's a 4000 SU, so that's a 4000 Ford tractor engine, 55 horse, was married to a 3000 Ford frame. So the front end and the running gear and everything is 3000 Ford. The PTO and the hydraulics and everything are off the 4000 Ford. So it has independent hydraulic PTO and all that. It's very, very great tractor, very strong, very powerful. So, but I'm going to tell you, that crazy old Ford, I just turned over 6,000 hours on it, and that tractor would outlast, even today, outlast any new tractor that you could recommend to me. And it is a very strong, stout tractor, very comfortable to drive. And yeah, I don't have a cab, I'm open station on it, but I can hook my drum mower to it and go to town, mow hay all day long on less than 10 gallons of fuel, and the tractor just runs and runs and runs. I've got 6,000 hours, actually about 6,032 hours on it now, and the tractor's still running great. Runs great, drives great, everything. I did have to put a fuel pump on it, diesel fuel pump on it a couple years ago, just because the old one started leaking real bad, and it was cheaper to replace it than it was to have it rebuilt. And so I did that. The Other thing, I did have to reseal the lower power steering box underneath the dashboard. That was kind of a pain just to get to put a $10 seal in, but it is what it is, and well worth the investment in that old tractor. So Massey Ferguson's the same way. It just goes and goes and goes. Very powerful, 76 horse tractor, front end loader. Not a very. It's got the screwy Massey Ferguson hydraulics on it, which means on my tractor it just has the single transmission pump, so the front end loader's slow and all that stuff. But it works. It gets the job done, and so there's just not a new tractor out there that I believe will hold up in the long run to the old iron. Not just my tractors, but any of the old tractors. Just run and run and run, and you don't have to fool with the emissions control stuff. I just pour fuel in them and go to work. As far as fuel economy, they get both of them. If you're not working them super hard, if you're just I'm making a mess out of this spot right here because I'm trying to do this one-handed, not actuating the front end of this mower off the ground quite like I need to. But fuel economy on those tractors, if you're just running, mowing and pulling the hay baler and things like that, about a gallon an hour, maybe it's very, very, very slightly over a gallon an hour, and they do just fine. So for that reason, my HVAC cab experiences have been and probably will be for the remainder of my time on this earth limited to running these construction equipment, the excavator and this skid steer. So, and that's fine. That's fine. I know my limitations. I'm 66 years old. In the summertime, I carry a lot of water, and when I finally got smart enough to know that when I get hot, I need to quit. The very hot summertime days of working out in the hot sun all day long are kind of shortening up for me a little bit, but that's okay. I can get more work done in one day than a lot of folks younger than me can do it in 2 or 3 days. So not all of them, but it's kind of hard to find people motivated to work anymore. But let's see, back to my story. Wherever it was, I really got on a rabbit trail that time. But yeah, like this skid steer, as I mentioned, I'm not crazy about the availability of John Deere parts for this thing, and I was down for 2.5 months. I was making a payment on a skid steer I couldn't use, that John Deere couldn't get me parts for, and losing work. So I did retire from flying as an airline pilot. I did retire from that, and didn't want to sit around and watch Oprah and Judge Judy all day, so I decided to buy some equipment and just keep busy, and that's what I'm doing. Just trying to keep busy, not doing this to make a living, just trying to make enough money as I go by to keep my equipment paid for and not strain my retirement account too bad. The repair bill on these 2 drive motors did put a strain on everything. It was very expensive, and like I said yesterday, I made mention that John Deere couldn't get me parts in a timely manner, including hydraulic hoses. And I'm sure that some of you out there were thinking, well, you can get hydraulic hoses made anywhere, and that's true. I had 2 hoses made for this thing for the hydrostatic motors, and they were about 24 inches long. Each hose, they were identical hoses, 24-inch long hoses, and it cost me $400 at Royal Brass. That was a kind of a kick in the teeth as well. So, but the other hoses that held me up were not hoses. They were the formed steel hydraulic lines. And actually, the cost on those wasn't all that bad, but it just took them weeks and weeks and weeks to get them to me. And so all those things kind of annoyed me and aggravated me, because when you're trying to run a business, a legitimate business, and you're trying to get work, and trying to keep your bills paid and pay for your machinery, and you've got machinery in the shop that you're making a monthly payment on, it's kind of aggravating when the manufacturer can't be bothered to get you parts. But enough of that rant for now. I'm sure I'll get back on it again, because it's extremely annoying to me the way that happened. But that's just part of it. The little Sani excavator I bought was a little bit dubious about buying something like that, but I also wanted to keep it in a budget, and I looked at the Sani dealers not very far from me. I went down and test drove one, and I was pretty happy with it, and went over and looked at a Kubota spine machinery. Now, when I say anything about somebody else's machinery, I'm not throwing off on it, because everybody makes good equipment. Everybody does. And the Kubota, same exact specifications, 24 horsepower, 8,500 pound machines, angle blade, HVAC cab, rubber tracks, everything. I compared apples to apples, zero tail swing, all that stuff. When I priced out the Kubota versus the Sani, I priced out everything exactly the same. And the Kubota was, and I also wanted a brush cutter, boom-mounted brush cutter, and the Kubota was $14,000 more than the Sani, and that was the Kubota without the brush cutter, and that was the Sani with a VMC brush cutter included. So the Kubota was quite a bit higher. It was a good machine. Again, like I said, don't get me wrong. Is it better than the Sani? Most likely it is. Most likely it is. However, is it $14,000 better? Not for me, it wasn't. For somebody else who's young and plans on doing this for a lifetime and a living, the Kubota would probably be a good choice. Sani has a 5-year warranty. They'll come to me and fix it. So far, and I've had it about 15 months now, I guess, and 600 hours, over 600 hours on it. And I've not had to do a warranty claim yet. So I can't tell you how good the warranty is, but I do know my dealer is very supportive. If I've had questions, I can call, and they'll answer my questions, give me advice on service. I do most of the service myself. Once in a while, I'll take it in. And when I bought the Bombelite brush cutter, I bought the Bombelite stump grinder. They had to install a, what am I thinking? A case drain. They had to install a case drain on it. And of course, I let the dealer do that. They were reasonably priced on it. So my dealer here in Tennessee is Appalachian Equipment Services. They're down in Athens, Tennessee. They're a great dealer. I get no reward from them for saying anything nice about them. They're not paying me for this ad, sponsoring this ad, but if they would like to sponsor me with a 12-inch bucket for my Sani, that would be great. But they're not doing anything like that for me. I'm just a happy customer, satisfied customer, giving an honest review, and so that's where I'm at on that. But here we are. We're mowing along here and cutting this wet. It is wet, and it's raining, and I'm sorry because the windshield gets frosted over. I'm actually running the air conditioner compressor with the heat turned up because when I turn it off, my windshield fogs open. So I'm out here running this thing in the rain and trying to give you a video. I'm shooting it on my iPhone, and I know it's not the best. I know it's not the best quality, and I apologize for that. I am just getting started in this whole YouTube thing. I struggle with email, so doing things technical like social media and things like this, and making a YouTube channel is all foreign to me, and I really am not good at it. But I just thought I'd share a little bit of my day's activity with you. Just let you see some more of this Jenkins brush cutter at work. It's a fantastic machine. The more I use it, the more I'm just really fallen in love with it. Again, I'm not sponsored by Jenkins in any way, shape, or form, nor the dealer that sells me my equipment, which in the local area here where I'm at is wood equipment. And they do a fantastic job. They've got lots of good quality equipment. They've got equipment for tractors and skid steers, no excavator stuff. They do skid steer and tractor equipment. You can get new equipment, some used equipment there, and then a variety of entry level, from small compact utility tractors all the way up to some pretty good sized stuff. So again, not sponsored by them in any way, shape, or form. Just they're a good dealer who offer good service, and in this day and age, when you find somebody who offers you good service, they deserve a shout out, because that's getting harder and harder to find these days too. So I'm going to end the video here. Just more of this going around and around, back and forth in circles. But sorry about the kind of crappy view out the window, the rainy window. But here, every now and then I'll run the windshield wiper and try to clear it off. I've got a spot right there on the windshield that the wiper doesn't touch, so I can't get that perfectly clear. If I start getting views and some viewership, then I can afford to go ahead and upgrade to maybe a GoPro or something like that. A lot of fantastic content creators on YouTube doing things like this, and that's I would like to be to their level, but they've worked at it for a very, very, very long time, and I'm just out here trying to have fun and not get bored in retirement. So that's all for me right now. This is Greg, by the way. If you're in the East Tennessee area, I am the proud owner and operator, a veteran owner and operator of Ground Control Excavation and Land Services, LLC. I am insured. I'm a certified business by the state of Tennessee, so everything's up above the board. And if you're in my area and you need some excavation work, you need some land cleared, anything at all, if you can stick it on an excavator or a skid steer, I can probably get the equipment and do the work for you. That would be Ground Control Excavation and Land Services, LLC. Thank you for stopping by and taking a look at my channel. And please leave a like and let me know if you liked what you saw today, or comment. If you're an operator and you have some suggestions or techniques other than don't try to video with one hand and run a two-stick machine with another. If you have any questions or comments, I would appreciate reading them. I'll look forward to it. And other than that, everyone have a great day, and we'll see, I hope, in just a few days.